Are you over 18 years old? Then it's not that type of show. But according to Netflix and their new show Daybreak, you as an adult do not survive the apocalypse. Stay tuned to find out why.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, Buzz.
I like the intro. Guys, welcome back to Pilot Reviews. We're so happy you are here. I'm Linda Entry, and this show we cover just the pilot. And today's pilot, Daybreak, I'm super excited to talk about. Hi, Mina.
Hey.
Guys, Mina to my left, extraordinaire movie head. We got that music in the background. Holla. What's up, Mina? Welcome back.
Not much. I'm excited to be here, per usual.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Pilot Reviews. Guys, so we're talking about Daybreak. Let's just jump into it. Overall thoughts of Daybreak.
You know, I liked it. I found it to be a little overly stylistic, but I still think it's a good show.
Okay.
I think it's good. I like the whole, the genre of it being the apocalypse. I thought it was good.
Overall, I was entertained by it. I'll say that. I think that it's light. I think that it definitely has a specific audience that it's going for. And guys, if you haven't heard of Daybreak, Daybreak is based off a graphic novel by Brian Ralph, where a bioweapon has turned all adults into zombie-like ghouls, and kids are now ruling themselves in the apocalypse and are separated into tribes based on cliques. Mm-hmm. And guys, it happens right here in California. It happens in Glendale. Yeah. And Glendale is basically broken down to a bunch of different high school cliques. So that's the premise of the show.
I feel like it's pretty realistic because it's like what happened when everyone was downloading Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And just walking around.
Oh my God, that's a great analogy. I love that.
That's what this is.
So guys, there are 4 main groups. So we've got the cheerleaders, the 4-H club, the athletes, and then a bunch of other different tribes that they've broken down into. And our main protagonist, Josh, kind of is a floater, right?
Yeah.
We get that vibe from him?
He doesn't belong anywhere. I loved when they were doing, the click thing because it really reminded me of Mean Girls, but, if Mean Girls were an indie movie.
Yeah.
So I was digging that part. There were a lot of parts of this show where I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But then I felt like it kind of got a little snobby here and there. You know when something's, so overly stylistic where it's, too hipster?
But you know what I thought they were doing? They were taking every high school cliche and just making it 1,000% more obvious. Do you know what I mean? Because you had all the things that they were dealing with were definitely very high school stuff that you've either dealt with or you've seen. You know, the jocks and I'm the captain of the team and
the fact that he has to reiterate all of that team captain. I make the decisions.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So I think it was interesting. So. Let's jump into some characters first before we go through the story. So let's see who is starring in Daybreak, guys, it dropped October 24th, so it's bingeable right now. First up, we have Colin Ford. He plays Josh Wheeler. You know him from We Bought a Zoo, In the Name of the King, Push, All Rise, which is also a new show, and Captain Marvel. Next up, we have Elvia Alyn. She plays Angelica Green. She is known for Overboard, for Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors and Christmas of Many Colors, Blended, and she is part of the whole Young and the Restless cast as well. Next up, we have Sophie Simnett. She plays Samara, a.k.a. Sam Dean, the girlfriend that is Josh's girlfriend that he's looking for.
I loved her.
She is known for Mum's List, Poldark, Surviving Christmas, The Lodge, and Ransom. Next up, we have Austin Croute. He plays Wesley Fitz. He's known for Booksmart, Atlanta, Tank House, Trinkets, and Orange is the New Black. His little samurai character was really cute in this. And we have Cody Kersley. He plays Turbo Bro Jock. Love the name. He's known for Riverdale, iZombie, Gemini, and Spiral. Next up, we have Jante Godlock. She plays Mona Lisa, and she's known for the Simone Biles story and Sellout. Then we have Gregory Cashion. He plays Eli Karashian, which I think is hilarious. And you know him from Hawaii Five-0, from Quest, and from Badsville. There's Gregory. And last but not least, Matthew Broderick, who plays Principal Michael Burr. And I mean, I can list a gazillion things that this man has been on. I think that he's a little bit like TV royalty. But if you don't know him from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or The Cable Guy, or Better Things, or Wonder Park, or The Conners, then I don't know where you've been.
I love this role reversal where he actually plays the principal, and in Ferris Bueller, we know him as the rebellious student.
Well, I think that's
brilliant.
part of the whole thing that this show is bringing, is you see little bits of a lot of different things, right?
And I feel like this show is kind of like mocking the obvious. Like, you know how they play into stereotypes, but at the same time, they don't, and they break the fourth wall, and even when Sam Dean's like, where do I fit in? I don't know. Like, I loved that part of it. Kind of like, it was a very, like, woke show in the sense that they know the times that they live in, and they're like, oh, well, we can't say that. And, you know, I'm a walking cultural appropriation in terms of what I'm named, Samira, or whatever.
Yeah.
I like that part of it. It was smart, and it really caters to that millennial demographic that's woke.
I agree with that. I think that they are saying, by they, I mean the internet, is saying it's kind of like Ferris Bueller mixed with Mad Men mixed with The Warriors. So it's a kind of a mix mash of all of those things, and you kind of do see a lot of that. Like, you see some shout outs that I'll share with you guys later, but to Ferris Bueller, to Mad Max. So they're kind of making fun of themselves without really making fun of themselves.
Right.
What did you think about the fact that the adults are now all they're dead, or they're these ghouly zombie-brained walkers that roam the streets? Which is funny in and of itself, right? The adults.
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of it is great, because then this essentially turns into this Lord of the Flies type adaptation of, like, what happens when the kids are all alone and there's no authority, and how do they develop, you know, factions of their own, and how do hierarchies form, and what happens if there are no adults, just like what would happen if there's, like, no government? Would everything disrupt into anarchy? And I love that, because it kind of reminds you of Netflix's The Society.
Which is I was about to say.
Yeah, we also covered that here on TV Pilot Reviews.
Yeah, where the adults disappear and it's just the kids. Yeah. Lord of the Flying around. Let's do our pass or play.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to say I'm a pass play. So I'm not going to watch this, even though I do think it's good. I definitely recommend it for, you know, the millennial demographic, even younger. I feel like even though it's 18 and older, I feel like we know people are going to be watching this anyway. Yeah. It's stylistic. It's good. It's, I don't know. It's like, it's funny. It's witty. And I love how it kind of like, you know, talks about, like, it kind of makes fun of, like, the whole, like, woke culture. Yeah. While still being that.
Yeah. So I agree with you 100%. I'm going to be a pass play. I'm a pass because I have too many other shows that take up my time that I don't think I can be invested in this one. I was entertained by it, so I'm definitely recommending. If you want to be entertained, if you want to have a few laughs, if this is like your genre, where Ferris Bueller really, I think, was like, had a cult following, was like a huge hit for its time, then I think this is going to be that for the millennials and for anyone that just who likes zombies and ghoulies and all of that stuff, then this is going to be for you. So I'm highly recommending it. I can't put it on my plate.
Should we do that if you like?
Let's do it if you like later.
Later?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure for throwing that in there.
Let's talk about a little bit of the breakdown. So it's directed by Michael Patrick Jan, Brad Payton, Sherwin Shalati, and Kate Haran. And apparently these four, especially the creator Aaron and Brad Payton, were really into the books. And so they were super excited to do this with Netflix. And according to IMDb, they wrote and directed all 10 episodes, and they're already talking about a season 2.
Wow.
Right?
I won't be surprised if it gets picked up again, because just based off of the pilot, it's a very strong start.
Yeah, it's a very strong start. And guys, if you haven't seen our show here before, we only cover the pilot. So we've only watched the first episode, and we're breaking down whether we think that you should invest your time and watch this new show.
Right.
Yeah. So let's jump into a little bit about what happened. So we know that Josh is a Canadian like myself, and he comes into a new school, and it's him kind of narrating his life now that he's in this new school and there are no adults around, and how he's surviving. What did you think of that whole setup?
I love things that have this setup. I love the breaking of the fourth wall when someone is just kind of, walking forward and narrating their life. Some people might think it's like, oh, there's too much exposition. Why do you have to explain it? But I see it as just something that's stylistic in a very entertaining way, where you really get to know the character, and it's very like theatrical. And I don't know, like, if you were ever into Disney original channel movies, but they did that in like Quince and Lizzie McGuire. And like, I love that style. It reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah, I liked it for this too, and I liked it because it reminded me, again, like that's like a very Ferris Bueller thing as well. I think where he talked to camera or whatever as well, right? So I think that kind of mix mash is kind of cool. So he's on this self-proclaimed quest to find and save his girlfriend Sam, and we see Sam through flashbacks before the apocalypse, right? What did you think of her performance?
I thought her performance was so strong. She's literally my favorite character on this show. Okay. I feel like if the focus shifted where she's in more of the episodes, I think I might convert to a play instead of a pass play, because when I was watching it, I was like, I really enjoy this love storyline, this romantic, like, hero saves girl, but I don't think she really needs to be saved. We'll find out. Yeah. But I loved her. I loved how she was, like, not the typical female role where, like, she's very quirky, but without being, like,
and
a
smart
caricature of the quirky, like, Summer from 500 Days of Summer. She's not just quirky. She's also, like, really smart. She's assertive. She kind of makes the first move, and she's like, I'm interested, without being, like, overly sexed up. And so she has a very unique personality, and she doesn't fall into any sort of stereotype.
Yeah, I
loved her character. I loved her performance.
So we see Josh in this crazy world, and he has to kind of navigate through a couple of major obstacles, and one of them being this turbo bro jock and his group. So I think his group is called the Bro Jocks, and so it's exactly what it sounds like, which I think is hilarious. The bros and the jocks got together, and in this world they were all like one kind of clique, right? So they're after him because, and if we want to do spoiler alert, maybe now we can, because I'm about to spoil a little something if you haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
He's looking for Sam. He runs into the golf club. He gets into some trouble with the golf club, and they battle. And in the midst of the battle, he picks up Angelica, who is not who he was looking for. He's looking for Sam. And because he battles them and beats them, the bro jocks, go get more bro jocks to go after singular Josh.
Right.
Right? Which is kind of very high school.
Yeah, yeah, like they're avenging.
Yeah.
They're avenging the
other
the
bro
chopped
jocks.
or the not the chopped finger, but the whatever he did.
Yeah. Well, he
The
did. He's
stabbing.
like stabbed
like
his
he tried
finger
to
or
get the
whatever.
middle finger off, but and like have it be cinematic, which
Yeah.
I thought was funny. He's like, I thought it would be sick.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
And then we know this Angelica. She's a child genius. She's probably like a pyromaniac as well. We're starting to learn a little bit about her character, and really just a badass. And so he's picking up, what we're seeing is that he's kind of picking up his crew, even though he is a loner in and of itself. He's picking up a little bit of crew along the way.
Yeah.
Right? So, which kind of tends to happen as well in high school.
I like it. It's a very smart way to introduce new characters without it being like awkward pacing. It's the perfect pacing.
Yeah, and then we meet Wesley, who was a football star and also Josh's bully in school, and now he's kind of like a wandering samurai. And so the three of them are battling against the rest of the cliques. To find Sam, but B, also strength in numbers, right? So we see a little bit of that. What did you think of the whole scene where they go back to his place and they're surrounded by the bro jocks, and the way they get out is having blood balloons thrown at them? What did you think of that whole scene? Because I wasn't sure what was happening. I was like, why are we throwing blood? Because the ghoulies can smell blood
And they're gonna come
attack
after them. Yeah. I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I thought they were just being gross, and I didn't get it. And then I was like, okay, there's like more layers to this. I don't know. I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is kind of suspenseful, but at the same time, I'm not on my toes watching it because there is so much humor interwoven into it, where it kind of like, yeah, it doesn't make you like completely invested in the outcome in the way you would if it was like completely grounded in reality.
Yeah, I thought it was very high school. Like, you know, like you guys are getting into like some...
It's like a water balloon fight.
Yeah,
or like
some
food
stupid
fight.
battle, and now it's like water balloons, but not because it's blood. Okay, we get it. But it was funny because they were at first chasing him, and then all of a sudden they were not chasing him, and we don't find out in the pilot what has happened. So you have to go on to episode 2 to find out. But in the meantime, we do get introduced to another character at the end that we don't know who it is. And that's kind of like the cliffhanger of the pilot.
Yeah, who do we think it is?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's probably someone we haven't met yet.
I think so.
It's got to be someone new. I wonder, I mean, it can't be Sam.
I mean, it could be Sam. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't skip ahead.
I didn't skip ahead either. It's like, I'm not going to do it this time. Normally, guys, I do skip ahead and try to figure some stuff out, but I didn't.
controlled myself this time.
I did too. I definitely did too. Let's do our rating of 1 to 5. 1 meaning this is a terrible, terrible pilot. 5 meaning it's the best pilot ever.
I'd give this like a 3.7, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So solid.
Yeah, it's solid.
Okay.
It's good. I don't have like a lot of problems with it. It's just, it wasn't completely my cup of tea, but it had a lot of parts that I loved. But there were, some of it was like too over the top. Kind of like when you watch Romeo and Juliet, but the Leonardo DiCaprio version. Where it's like very stylistic and you're like, whoa.
I'm going to give it a 3. I think it was solid, but I don't think it was like the best. I think it was solid. It was
I'm surprised with that rating. I thought it would be higher. Yeah.
No, I'm giving it a solid 3. I have some fun trivia about this show. So Sophie Simnett's character, named Sam Dean, is a clear reference to the lead character of Supernatural, Sam and Dean Winchester.
Oh.
And Colin Ford, who is the protagonist in this, played young Sam Winchester on Supernatural from 2007 to 2016.
So it's a crossover. Or maybe they are in the same universe. Who knows?
Who knows? There are, another fun fact, there are a few nods to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, other than the lead actor, we know Matthew Broderick. One being an altering of the famous line, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. Josh Wheeler states, things are mutating fast around here. If you stop and look around, you may get eaten. Others include the teacher droning Wheeler at the beginning of episode 1, and Josh's character frequently breaking the fourth wall to address the viewers.
Yeah.
And then another fun fact, Josh drives a car. We see that car, I think it was a Ferrari, with the license plate Furry Road, so F-U-R.
Oh, like
Y-R.
Like Mad Max, I'm guessing.
Just...
I know. I stole it from you. I'm just
she
too
stole
excited.
it. Still from Mad Max, so you see that kind of crossover as well. It was filmed in part at Cottonwood Mall in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And what's interesting about that is that part of the actual mall that they're going to go to is it's all set, but they made it a real mall. So there's stuff in the stores and all of that. So I thought that was interesting. And then Paradise Cove, which is where the apartment building that you guys will see in this episode that he lived in, is really 909 apartments in Albuquerque. It's an actual place.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are super interesting.
Yeah.
I love the Mad Max one and I love the Ferris Bueller one.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up every single one of those.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Excellent. Let's do If You Like.
Okay.
So I said, if you like Watchmen, if you like Mad Max, if you like Looking for Alaska, Treadstone, Hunger Games, Zombieland, obviously Ferris Bueller's Day Off, then you will like this show, Daybreak.
I totally agree with that list. That was really inclusive of a lot of things. I said if you like Netflix's The Society, if you like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, if you like Hot Fuzz especially. Also, if you like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, because of the romantic aspect there. If you like Kick-Ass, if you like Lord of the Flies, and if you like Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio version, you will definitely like this.
Those are all true. I agree with those ones as well. So guys, I think that is everything about Daybreak. You should check it out if you have time. You will enjoy it. Guys, I also wanted to say that this is going to be our last pilot reviews.
No.
I'm so sorry, guys, but we are reformatting, so I'm sure we're going to come back with something that's bigger and better and just awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us all the time, every week, and just listening to our thoughts on TV pilots and all the new shows.
Yeah, I'm going to miss this.
Yeah.
This was fun.
It absolutely was fun, but we'll be back in some form, shape, or way, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Until then, where can people find you?
Hey everyone, I'm Mina. You can follow me on Instagram at Mina Makes Magic.
Guys, I'm all across social media at Linda Is So Girly. Stay tuned for all things 90 days. We're doing the 90-day tell-all, and we have a lot to tell you. Until then, guys, bye for now.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.